You're such an asshole.
Asshole consultant, how you kids doing? Where we go here? Interesting question. Please keep me anonymous. Please provide an answer on YouTube so that commenters could contribute to the discussion and benefit from your response as well. Bottom line up front, I earn $96,000 a year now. How do I double my income? Background. Greeting, Mr. Clary. 33-year-old male enjoying the decline amongst the most volatile, evil, disgusting thing on the planet, humans. I currently work as a security supervisor at a place. It's a standing job, loss prevention at a place. The company I work for provides an abundance of overtime, which allows me to earn $8,000 a month, every day, 12 hours a day. Additionally, I log in 11 hours per week admin time. Basically, I earn whatever hours I work. As soon as I stop working or take a few days off, I stop earning money. Equals time for money exchange. I came across this concept by Dan Loke, which is called the wealth triangle. He suggests to constantly increase the basic earning ability, aka the main skill, in which my case is working security, while simultaneously working on some other scalable ideas when not working my main job. Yeah, but you got to sleep in there sometime, dude. 96 hours a week? No, I'm sorry, not 96 hours a week. What's 12? That's 96,000 a year. 12 times 7. Okay, 84 hours a week. All right. Well, you got to eat, you got to sleep, and I imagine you like to have some socializing, unless you're a unique individual where you don't really need to hang out with humans. I mean, I did it for 4 years. I don't know where you're going to get the extra time to go work on a business. So far, I got my use of force and gun license, which helped me get the supervisor position. Yeah, that'll help you out in security a lot. So you could do armed security, I presume, too, under your state law. Other fields I've considered are hospital security, corrections, border security. Those may be more per hour, but only provide the standard 40 hours a week. With the current company, as long as I'm willing to work, I can work every day, 360 days a year. Hence, it's not worth jumping to another job knowing that my income will go down. Maybe I shall get additional training in the security or PI field. No, you're not thinking big enough. You just don't make that much money in security. Security is a great job if you could sit down and study. It's a great job to have as a young man while you're pursuing something else. But you're doing active security. You don't get to sit down, be stationed at a post in a warehouse in the middle of nowhere when nothing happens. Like you're working door security, and things can happen at the place you work for obvious reasons. And then even if, what did I get paid? Maybe I was paid $22 an hour at most when I was working security with overtime, and I was armed. That was a couple, so let's call it 25 today. That's as good as it got, but it was never enough where where if I only worked 40 hours a week, I was always doing something else, namely writing books when I worked in security. And then private investigators, I don't think they make that much. Private BLS for that. Yeah, they $28 an hour, $60,000. That's not a lot. It really isn't a lot. What would you recommend? How do I make more money? Maybe I shall move to the States. Well, wait, where are you at now? What? I have a college degree. Oh, you're in Canada. Oh, Canada, the country that hates itself. It's impossible to transfer credits. Oh, wait, I have a degree in a foreign country that isn't Canada, but it's useless in Canada. Well, that degree is useless anywhere. Very interesting where you got that degree. I can't say because it would easily identify you. It's impossible to transfer credits, and I will be considered a high school graduate in case I would pursue a degree. Was thinking of possibly getting a degree here, but the cost and debt load are not worth it. Also, lost income that I can earn while doing security overtime is huge. Living situation, and I live 30 minutes away from a town I've been in. My house is literally 7 meters from the water. That's 21 feet for you real people who use the real system. I love where I live. I just want to travel more. Well, that's not an expensive town you live in. I don't have any ties, can move anywhere if that leads to an increase of income and savings rate. Was thinking of going back to a major big city area to earn more money, but business and cost of living will eat me alive, and I will not save as much as I'm saving here. Canadian citizens, so going to the States is also on the table. Financial situation, I'm a minimalist. Okay, God, you minimalists, you high income minimalists. How do I make more money? You're a minimalist. You don't need it. Monthly expenses are $3,000 a month, and I'm living like a king while saving a lot. Just don't have any desire to spend all and indulge myself in this stupid consumerism, as almost everyone is doing nowadays. Net worth is 100,000 liquid cash in the bank, no debt, credit card, housing, 1,100 a month. Okay. You rent it, food, 300, transportation. Okay, you're fine. The rest I save for spending, traveling abroad, or experiences. NB, what NB? All numbers are net in Canadian dollars. No plans to purchase a house. All my positions fit in a few boxes. No ties. Only thing you give notice to the landlord. One prior month's departure. Not as good as famous 30 seconds flat. Bottom line, how do I double my income? I say, why need to double your income? To achieve financial independence, travel more, have a kid. Okay. Problem is, there's your question, which a lot of people would like to know. How do you double your income? And that's the question you want answered. Then there's your actual problem. You're an idiot. Not an actual idiot. You're an idiot in this one regard. You make more than enough money to live. You make more than enough money to have a child. Maybe not. I mean, I know it's Canadian, so that's like 70,000 US. You make an adequate amount of money to have everything you want. You just need to take off some time and go travel. Unless your goal of traveling was to travel for a year. But everything you want in life you could afford now. About the only thing you don't have is the time. So if you had a kid, you'd have to like somehow scale back a little bit to raise it. But you got $100,000, so you could kind of draw off of that a little bit year to year to year for 5 years. Raise your kid, and when the kid goes off to kindergarten, then maybe you go work a little bit more. But you can have everything you want in life now. You don't need to double your income. And I understand minimalism, absolutely. And I understand making as much money as possible being a minimalist, but it comes from the angle of I want to make as much money per hour so that I can work the least amount of hours. Because I'm not just a minimalist in the money I spend, I'm a minimalist in the amount that I want to work for other people. So I can maximize the amount of time I have doing what I want on this planet. I want most of my life to me. And so I don't understand, if you're a minimalist, why not just get by on 45,000? Why do you not like time? Now, if you have no opportunity cost for time because you don't have a family, you don't care to go, that town is kind of dingy. I can't imagine there's great social life in that town. Also, as common with minimalists, you're usually, they're not reclusive, but you're a little bit more cerebral. You value your own time and yourself a little bit more. That going out and wasting your time hang out with people that just go to bars and watch hockey, because that's what you guys do in Canada. You watch hockey. So I could see where you're not, and Canada's no different than the United States, except you suck even more, where, there's a good chance you're never going to get married. So I could see you don't really want to go out. What's wrong with the life you got now? Why don't you travel now? You have $100,000, man. I'm not saying blow it all, but can you take 5 and go have yourself a really nice, several week long trip over in Europe or wherever it is you want to go? So for your individual situation, you don't need to double your income. You might want to make the same amount of money on a 40-hour-a-week income. Maybe you would like to work less, but you're going to have to retool. You would literally have to go back to school for something that pays, $40 an hour Canadian for you to have more or less the same amount of money. But there's no way in your individual situation you make as much money with half the amount of time. You got to get out of security, which means you have to drop down part-time from working, which is fine because you're capable of doing 80 hours a week, and then go study something like a trade, STEM degree, accounting, something like that in several years' time would generate the income you like. That's the only way you would double your money or double your hourly wage, which would get you the same money if you worked half as much, thereby freeing up time. But that's it. You don't make a ton of money in security unless you do what you're doing, which is working all the time. So, and all the options that you listed, you get a slight bump in pay, but not a lot. You're really, I don't know if you even working overtime. I don't think you can make more than what you are now working security. You're doing very well, excellent, matter of fact, with the amount of money you're making. So you got to find a whole other new profession, and it's going to take at least 2 years of retooling, and there you go. And I don't know if there's a truck driver shortage up in Canada or not, but I know you could. I know your buddy. Who's that pussy you got elected? Trudeau. I know he hates truck drivers because they're real men who have real jobs. So that's your individual situation. But when it comes to doubling your money, the solution is very simple for those of you tuning in. Like, well, how do I double my money? You work more or you work smarter. That's it. You work more or you work smarter. Smarter meaning you go and get some kind of skill or trade that increases the per hour amount of money you make, or you just work more. The pro to working more is that it's immediate. A lot of people say, oh, Cappy, I got financial troubles. How do I get out of my financial troubles? Work another job. Is there any other way than doing more work? Like, is there a prayer I can say? Or is there some kind of secret financial trick using credit cards? No, the answer is just work more. Oh, and spend less. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought there was an easy way. Is there an easy way? No, there's no easy way. There's only one way. You work more. Or, as in the case of the client, you retool, you get yourself a very in-demand skill, which is usually something boring, hard, tedious, or math intensive. And then you go and do that. And then the quick and easy way to get out of debt or make more money is to work more. And there's kind of like a multiplier effect on that. I remember back in college, especially during Christmas season, we'd lose, gosh, 75, 80% of our force. Of course, there weren't that many patrols to do because there weren't that many people on campus. But we'd have the dirty dozen and we'd take all the shifts. Man, 100-hour work weeks, easy. 120-hour work weeks, easy. And then if you're working, I almost guarantee you the client, because you're working 84 hours a week, you don't have time to spend your money. You throw in what? 8 times 50 hours. Yeah, you're sleeping. You sleep and work pretty much. Maybe you go get some groceries, maybe, but that's it. You sleep and work. So what would end up happening is you didn't have time to spend your money. It was just food. You eat, you work, you sleep. That was it. And then at the end of Christmas break, the end of that month, you'd have enough money to pay for like 2 semesters of college. It might have been nice to be a boomer. It actually was back in those days, but we did work. That was the other thing. We did work. Is there a way I can live in life and not work? Yeah, go on welfare. See how happy that life is. So that's how you double your money. You work twice the amount of hours. Or if you're lucky enough to work at a place that has overtime, you work 50% more hours, and then you get double the pay with overtime pay. There's no it's not complicated. It's not, how do I get out of debt? You work more and spend less. That's it. How do I get guys? You thin up and you grow your hair long and you be nicer. How do I get the girls? You go to the gym, you work out, you ask out more girls, you become more charismatic, and you get taller. These are not Scooby-Doo mysteries that only God himself has the answer to. But yeah, in your unique case, some's got to give. You tapped out on time. There's no time left. None. So you're going to have to trade that time to get skilled up so that going forward into the future, you're making $40, $50, $60 an hour. Any super chats? No super chats. There we go. See you guys later. Toodles.